ours a people inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is March 9th, 2026. And dude, has this year been insane. It's been better than last year, though. I do have to say that. Knock on wood. Well, as far as personal life. Not much for an update. Just been working. My voice might be a little off. I've just been a little under the weather. Just been working my butt off, trying to stay fucking healthy. As far as updates, I think that's about it. As far as personal life updates, I'll keep it short. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to it, I will send you a sticker. There is 3 left. That's it. Once they're gone, next thing will be bookmarks or trading cards. I don't know, man. I might do trading cards. I know I said bookmarks. I'll do bookmarks first. We'll do bookmarks first, and then after bookmarks, because I did do a poll and people wanted bookmarks. But let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see trading cards. I'll start doing trading cards. Alright, so this one hits close to home. And if you guys have kept up with the channel, I've been on this channel for 10 or 11 years now. I'm just going to start saying 11 probably. I don't know, 10 or 11 years. I lose track of time, and I'm really not the type of dude who keeps up with time in general. If you're a long-time listener, I started the channel in Danville, Kentucky, and then I ended up moving to Nicholasville, and then to Harrodsburg, and now I'm back in Nicholasville. So I lived in Harrodsburg, Kentucky for a while. And you guys know how I feel about AI and data centers and all this shit. They're building a data center in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And the whole town is apparently in an uproar. I'm going to actually go down there and see. I'm going to go check out where they're building it. Maybe interview some locals. I don't know. Apparently there's been like people going to town meetings. I'm not sure if there's been any protests yet. So I found a little article here. This is what it looks like. Yeah, this is right on Harrington Lake. Which, by the way, Harrington Lake. Oh, it's water from Harrington Lake. By the way, Harrington Lake, I've covered that. Hell, me and Sammy went and investigated the Harrington Lake pig-faced sea monster. Go check out that video. It's in the cryptid zoology or cryptid hunting playlist. I don't know. Go through the playlist. There's a cryptid playlist where we've done like paranormal investigations and shit. Here's a picture. I guess this is it. So, yeah, crazy. I forget now that I got a new phone. I can literally just like swap the screen. My old phone didn't have that. I'm still used to the old phone. So, residents of a central Kentucky county, and that would be Mercer County, is where Harrodsburg's located. Oh, by the way, hit me up in the comments if you guys would like to see an investigation on that. I love doing that type of stuff, like man on the street type of stuff, especially if it's like conspiracy or paranormal, which I don't mind doing it in general. Just like going out and about and filming and stuff. Residents of a central Kentucky county are now among a growing list of those across the Bluegrass State, largely opposed to data center development in their communities. Gee, I wonder why. Because their bills are going to skyrocket. Like both water and electric are going to go from like maybe $100 a month to like $500 a month. And sadly, a lot of these people are going to have to move out of Harrodsburg, which here's a little inside gossip, because I bartended in Harrodsburg for 8 years, but I was a resident of Danville while I was bartending for 8 years in Harrodsburg. Harrodsburg is jealous of Danville, Kentucky. And the reason why is because Harrodsburg, for the longest time, was a moist county. And I'm originally from Florida, so if you guys don't know, I think this whole concept is ridiculous. And what it is it's a Bible Belt thing. And you'll get a lot of like locals and shit who are like, no, it's not a Bible thing. And it's like, yes, it is, dude. It started out as basically all these small towns were run by like Christians, they'll claim it's something else now, but it's a Bible Belt thing. Because why would you purposely not let your town grow? Because I'm sorry, if you're against alcohol, like that's cool, whatever, but your town will not flourish without alcohol. And if you really want your town to flourish, you would let in like Delta and shit, like Delta 9, Delta 8, all that shit. Marijuana and alcohol, sex, drugs, and rock and roll will make a town flourish. Just saying, it is what it is. So Harrodsburg was always really jealous of Danville for that. Plus Danville was a college town. But they were already struggling, and then they went wet. So then they're like, oh my God, Harrodsburg's growing. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, I've been telling you all for like how many years to go wet and sell alcohol. It'll make your town grow, and it'll make you less jealous of Danville, But now that this data center's in there, it's going to destroy that town. It just will. It's going to destroy that town. Because all the locals are going to move out, because no one's going to be able to afford to live in Harrodsburg. We moved out because we couldn't afford to live in Harrodsburg. Because of Beryl Creek bought out our apartment. We went from $550 a month for rent to $1,000, and it's like, yeah, I don't have money for that, dude. Plus, I was already on my last leg with Kroger. I'm back now, but things have changed, All right, so a more than 550 acre, that's fucking huge, piece of private land. And by the way, I would love to know who the scumbag was who sold this shit to the Illuminati, that land. Because there's a lot of like farmers and shit who are like, have had, I was watching a video the other day, have had like houses that have been in their family for 3 or 4 generations, and like fucking Illuminati comes in, we're wanting to build a data center here for AI. Can we buy your land? We'll give you $1 million. And they're like, and they're poor as fuck, but they're like, no, this is my fucking land. My family's buried here. I got my little farm. No, you're not getting my fucking family land so that way I can go live in a shitty apartment in a city when I had the peace of the country out here, dude. And I mean, as someone who's lived out in the country and lived in the city, dude, there is nothing better than just the peace of being out in the country, man. Like here, my neighborhood fucking sucks, dude. I hate this neighborhood, you know. I would love to just go outside and there's just nothing but like green fields and forest and shit. You know, it's like the most beautiful piece you'll ever find. So, equivalent to the size of about 420 football fields, 420, in part of the county's unincorporated land near Bergen, which is another town I lived in. Bergen is like basically like, it's like a little tiny pissant town. Like it's kind of like another town here in Kentucky called Paint Lick. It's got like one blinking light. They don't even have a stoplight. You can literally, you close your eye, you blink and you're through it, you know. There's nothing there. There's like a corner store, a bank, a gas station, one restaurant. That's it. Like there's like 3 or 4 things in a school. That's it. And the E.W. Brown Generating Station, operated by Kentucky KU, is being marketed as a potential site for a data center. So, which I know where that is, so they're wanting to turn it into a data center too, out by Bergen. So it sounds like it ain't just going to be Harrodsburg, man, it's going to be Bergen too. That's if Harrodsburg goes down, Bergen's going down, because Bergen has been nothing forever. No plans or rezoning requests have been submitted to local officials who said they are trying to decide how to best set a regulatory framework for data centers and other related projects in the area. On Wednesday, which this is a little bit of an older article, I just found out the other day and I wanted to report on it. On Wednesday, but it's still current, the Mercer County Joint Planning and Zoning Commission held a special meeting for a work session on data centers with a public comment period. And apparently, dude, there was a bunch of people up there that were pissed. And I just heard that through the grapevine because I'm a local, you know. The meeting was one of the first public-facing discussions the county had on the subject. In an emailed statement, Harrodsburg Mercer County Industrial Development Authority Executive Director Grayson Evans said the group was aware of and tracking the marketing efforts of a private landowner, that it has secured the services of an industrial real estate broker to aid the marketing the site with a target industry of a hyperscale data center. So I'm going to tell you one thing right here. Harrodsburg, Lancaster, Danville, Bergen, everywhere around here, the only place that you can kind of disappear a little bit is like Nicholasville, kind of. Lexington, you can disappear in Lexington, but those little towns, everybody knows everybody. So they're like trying to keep it a secret on who's selling this land. But dude, everybody's going to know who sold this land. They're going to find out, and I feel bad for that person. They better pack up and run, dude. Or like good old boys are going to fucking get them, you know. Let's see, yeah. Evans said that the county's Planning and Zoning Commission has not received rezoning requests, site plans, or building permits for a data center. The commission did, Evans said, employ Parkway Strategies, I'm guessing that's the company, to help one of the companies to help understand the situation and learn about data centers. The consulting firm presented at the Wednesday work session. Online petition opposing data center begins to circulate. So ahead of the February 18th meeting, an online petition began circulating opposing a proposed development that stands to threaten our way of life, the construction of a massive data center. The petition as of February 20th has more than 2,100 signatures. Hopefully this petition is still up. While technological advancements are indispensable, this development could bring devastating consequences to our community. Yeah, it'll destroy the town. The petition said listing the project's environmental impact could lead to higher utility prices. Oh, they're going to skyrocket. And by the way, the majority of Harrodsburg is poor as fuck, man. Like, it's going to destroy this town. And put a strain on local resources. Moreover, the proposed site for this data center is on a prime agricultural land that has been farmed for generations. But remember, though, this is all part of that Great Reset. When I tell people that the future that they want with the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum, all these psychopaths in power, which we know, which I've been saying for years, but I think finally I deserve my roses that I've been correct. We already know they're Baal and Molech worshippers. They want a dystopian Blade Runner type future. Do you remember Blade Runner? How there was smog and it rained all the time and it was dark and the sun like never came out, and how the sky was dimmed and everything was just polluted. Everything was dystopian. Everybody looked like shit. Everybody was shady as shit. Like, that's what they want, you know? And just everyone just plugged in. A Facebook group called We Are Mercer County. So there you go. Right there. Go check them out. We Are Mercer County was created at the end of January and has more than 900 members. The group is now private, but is focused on local government transparency, civic engagement, and informed discussions about issues affecting Mercer County. We are realistic about the necessity for economic development, but believe it should not come at the expense of our community's core values and essential resources. I agree with that. The petition continues. There are alternatives such as utilizing already developed areas or brownfields. Oh my God, there's so much fucking noise going on out there. Which would minimize environmental damage and preserve our cherished rural landscapes. Mercer County farmland for sale. So about 550 acres of Mercer County farmland has been advertised for at least 6 months by JLL. Advertised by JLL. I'd like to, a Chicago-based global commercial real estate and property investment company. So we're going to have to look into JLL along with that other company, because it sounds like there's 2 or 3 companies that are all in this together. And I would love to know the darkness behind those companies. If you know anything about them, or hell, if you got a little time on your hand, check them out along with those other 2 that I mentioned earlier, and let me know if you know anything. Hit me up in the comments. Data centers are large facilities that store servers, information technology, infrastructure, and can distribute data. They typically use large amounts of energy and water to power servers and cool them down, which it's getting water from Lake Harrington that runs down the Dix River. It's going to suck up all that fucking water. It's going to pollute all that fucking water. So if there was a pig-faced sea monster, he's going to be dead. Sorry, I got to lighten the mood a little bit. But Dix River and Lake Harrington are going to be ruined from this shit. Which, you know, you don't want to swim in Lake Harrington, but it is pretty to go look at. And they have nice boat restaurants out there that we went to one. It was pretty good. New data center development potential with power infrastructure in place. A LinkedIn post from JLL Senior Manager Director Sean Reynolds said. Reynolds and another contact listed on marketing materials for Mercer County property did not immediately respond to the Herald Leader's request for comment. Gee, I wonder why. Two natural gas power plants utility price increases. Last October, the state agency responsible for regulating utilities said Kentucky Utilities, KU, and Louisville Gas and Electric could spend $3 billion on two natural gas power plants. One of those plants will be at KU's EU Brown Generating Station in Mercer County. So that's the one near Bergen. Because Bergen is Mercer, but Bergen's in a weird spot. It's like Bergen's Mercer, but then if you go down to Harrington Lake, it gets into Garrett County. So just northwest of property, JLL is advertising the facilities are meant to support an influx of high energy demand customers, namely data centers. The companies anticipate needing to support in the next 5 years. So it's sad, man. So 2026, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2030. So of course, around the time of 2030, Great Reset. Imagine that. It's almost like they were planning this shit. One day before the Mercer County work session, the same agency, the Public Service Commission, agreed that KU and LGE could raise rates for the first time since 2020. Which, by the way, the only reason they raised rates in 2020 was they seen the pandemic and was just like, hey, this is an excuse to just raise everything. You know, I mean, that's what they did. They used a fake pandemic. They did it with food, gas, electric, water, everything. Everything went up, dude. Everything went up. They take fake pandemics and just like basically just like use it as an excuse to just jack the prices of everything and fuck us in the ass, you know. The rate increases are less than what was proposed and less than those that have been in the effect of an interim basis since January 1st. KU will charge customers more than 6.5%, meaning the average residential electricity customers will pay about 8.73 more. LGE will increase power rates 4.7% and gas rates 11%, leaving customers to pay $5.14 and $8.27 more for those respective utilities. The power companies said throughout the process, and this is like of a town that's already counting change. I worked at the gas station over there, man. These motherfuckers can barely afford living as it is. You know, some of these people don't even have like air conditioning or electric, you know. The power company said throughout the process to improve the increase, the additional revenue was needed to cover the cost of infrastructure upgrades and to address rising operational costs, including those associated with severe weather. So data center regulation in Kentucky. Regulating data centers was identified as a priority among the General Assembly's GOP majority over the interim, and at the start of this year's legislative session, though several bills introduced to do so have not yet been assigned to the committee hearings. Already several companies have been trying to get in on a statewide incentives passed last year, and legislators are eager to capitalize. Capitalism, but this isn't capitalism. This is like crony capitalism, man. On the economic potential of data centers and the artificial intelligence they may house. Right there. Finally. They admit it. Artificial intelligence they may house. Skynet. Terminator. Fucking interdimensional beings. Quote unquote, we understand that our community is very likely target for this kind of corporate investment due to the vast generation capabilities at E.W. Brown, high voltage transmission, and approvals from the PSC for major generation expansion here over the next few years. Evans said, "This is why we believe that it is necessary for our community to develop a responsible regulatory framework as soon as possible. Just one data center is being built in Kentucky and South Louisville area, but the user of it has yet to been announced." So, I didn't know that there was already one in Louisville. And now they're building one in Harrodsburg, Mercer County. So this will be the second data center. And most of Kentucky, man, because you guys know I live in Kentucky, most of this state is rural. And what they're doing is they're hitting up rural places. So like upstate New York, Kentucky, I'm sure Indiana, they got a shit ton of rural. I mean, there's a lot of fucking rural places in America, man. And it's going to destroy the farmland. It's going to destroy the small towns. Which this ties in with like creepy shit like Bill Gates buying up all the fucking farmland. This all ties together, man. It all ties together. You know, I've always said that everything's a conspiracy, and it's a spider web, and it's all connected. And people thought I was crazy for the longest time. But I love it, man. People are finally waking up, especially after these Epstein lists. Which, by the way, I will be reporting on that more, but I wanted to get this story because this one, like, hits close to home. Let's see. No, I do have another episode planned after this. The next one will be on Bohemian Grove because a new Bohemian Grove list got released. So just a little teaser for the next episode. But here's some of the comments of what people think. And legislators are eager, and this is from user, literally a bunch of numbers. Very original. Are eager to capitalize on the economic potential of data centers and the artificial intelligence they may house. There will certainly be construction jobs to build the data centers, but after that, you only need a few maintenance people to maintain it. Exactly. That's what Trump keeps saying. We need to build these data centers. We need to build these data centers. It'll be a shit ton of jobs. Yeah, for a small amount of time. So these people who were making $10 an hour at a gas station, they can get a job at this data center for $20, $30 an hour. But once it's built, all those motherfuckers are getting fired. That's not going to be a forever job, dude. Because they're only going to need a certain amount of people to maintain it. So unless you get lucky enough to get a maintenance job at this data center, it's going to ruin... I don't know, because there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers who are like, dude, they're building a data center right outside of town. I can't wait. I can get a good job. For what? A year or two? Maybe 3 or 4 years? Until it's built? And then once it's built, you're fucked and you're out of your job. And most people suck at saving money. Especially here in Kentucky, man. I love it here, but... there's a lot of people around here that are just not frugal at all, dude. They just blow money. But, I mean, that's kind of everywhere. You know, I've seen that shit in Florida, too. I think that's just kind of an American thing that just a lot of Americans just suck with money, you know. So, yeah, like, it's going to provide jobs for just a wee little bit of time. There will certainly be construction. Okay, all the tech jobs are somewhere else, like California, for the people developing AI. So yeah, it's going to drive out Kentuckians to places like California, which we all know, California is a shitty fucking place, man. It's Babylon, dude. And everybody's moving out of California because it's shit. It's a fucking liberal hellhole. In fact, there will be no long-term jobs at all. Yep. So much as the AI boom is the same servers over and over, they just need more and more. So, what does Kentucky, or any state for that matter, get from new AI centers? More expensive power cost, more water usage, which means higher water bills, more noise, less land for other usage such as farming, and more pollution. There you go, guys. Data center moving into Harrodsburg. I just wanted to let y'all know. Hit up that petition if it's still around. It just kind of bums me out because here in Kentucky, as a conspiracy theorist, like my whole family's conspiracy theorists. That's part of the reason we moved out here, because we were all raised conspiracy theorists, and we're like, dude, Kentucky will be one of the last places that'll get hit. You know, it'll be the bigger cities first, which we kind of were right, you know, but not when it comes to shit like this, though. We're like top of the line as far as places to get hit when it comes to data centers, you know. But I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and y'all have a good day. Good talking to y'all again. It's been a minute. I'm going to try to upload more. You guys know me. I go through phases in life, and, you know, it's just one of those phases. But I've been uploading more. I've been uploading since my break, just not as often as, like, shit, I was doing, like, 1 or 2 podcasts a day, you know? Like, I don't have that energy right now, or that much willpower right now, but, I'm going to try to, you know. All right. Love y'all. Bye.